Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. This is the final part of the biggest build I've ever done. Thank you so much for all the viewers and the new subscribers. You guys are outstanding. I hope you guys have enjoyed this build as much as I have. I know it took longer than we thought about putting out the videos. There was so much to edit and so much to put together that it just took me so much longer than I had anticipated. But with that being said, let's jump into it and show you what this beautiful build has become. Now, we'll go through it piece by piece. That way you guys can see all the final works of everything going in, starting with down to the sump. So we actually had a little bit of an issue with the misting system. Our bucket down here actually developed, this is a new one, but there was actually a crack in the bottom of the old one, and it actually flooded the whole area and actually shorted out the control panel up there. So that was not good at all. We did put filter socks in the big seamless sump here, and we can walk you through the entire thing here. We do have our biomedia in here. We have carbon down in it. Ooh. And we have glass that doesn't sit perfectly in there. This is where our return pump is. We actually have the dual heads going up. For those of you that may have never seen the plumbing, I don't remember if we ever did it. And then lastly over here, I actually put in these tumbler bowls to help retain bacteria for the tank. These work really well. Also, if you're transporting water, they work really well to disrupt the movement of water. So I've actually been using those a lot lately. Close that up. A big thank you to Custom Aquariums who actually built this setup. It worked amazing, and I mean, as you guys have seen through the different videos, this tank has gone through a couple of different transformations, and we're very, very ecstatic for how it turned out. I apologize, the glass is a little bit dirty, but let's show you how everything's doing. Now, the last video, we showed you the plants getting it put in and all that, and as you can see, they're doing really, really well. We have a single misting head here, the quad still there, all the moss. Now, we are having a little bit of an issue. It's growing out with the plants back here. You can see it starting to vine out and come over, but we are having issues with the light back there. And that's because the light up top here is a 20,000 K lume full spectrum light, and so everything on that side of the tank is doing really, really well, but the stuff on this side of the tank is kind of struggling, and that's because we haven't got the lighting over here. And that's because the person that was supposed to provide the lighting, it's just not in stock. But it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit because, like, you have the drip wall here with all the moss, but you can see how this is not drying out. It's not getting the light it needs, and so it's starting to kind of, like, I don't know, turn mucky, and I don't like that part of it. But we have some random plants growing. The creeping ficus and the creeping ivy is doing really, really well. New plants that I didn't even plant. We do have to regularly go in and trim these, because as you can see, like, this thing is now touching the ceiling. So that's pretty outstanding. One of the cool things about that right there is look at the root structure underneath the water. That all came through the grating underneath, and I just think it's kind of cool. The rocks are doing really well. The moss is. We did lose the moss that was over here, but the rest of it's growing in really nicely. We did add a couple of fish in here. Right now we have let's see if we can see him, the Florida gar. He's sitting right here. He's about 10 to 12 inches. And then we have a marble gar right here. There was a red tail in here. I don't know where he went. I don't know if he got ate. He's vanished. So we did use the fluval stratum for the bottom, as you've seen, and then we do have our sword plants and our aquatic plants that are growing in very, very nicely. We are going to add some more plants underneath here once we get the lighting all squared away, but this is really nice because that light pushes all the way down through. And I did want to talk about the water testing. So we did use the Fritz Turbo Start, and there were some things that I didn't know about, and that was that if you use Turbo Start, you need some kind of ammonia base to kickstart the bacteria in it, and we didn't do that. So the tank actually, I mean, it still cycled. It took about 10 days, which is still better than a month and a half or 2 months for a tank this size. I still like to let my tanks naturally cycle, so we still didn't put anything in here for almost 2 months, just because it was a new product. But Eve said with the Turbo Start, you need to add an ammonia base, and it actually says it on the bottle, and so that's kind of on me for not fully understanding it or reaching out to Eve from Fritz. But she said that when people add in fish, and that's adding in the ammonia, which is kickstarting the bacteria and all that. But the water quality is doing absolutely amazing. We did have to add in, I hope you could see it. We had to add in some baffles in front of the intakes, and that was because it was actually sucking fish in. The gar that are in here eat live prey, and they were getting sucked down in the sump, and so it wasn't working, and so we just had to add in. So we just used some steel mesh to cover up the entry points. Now, you can see our moss is doing really well up here. Our plants are doing absolutely amazing. We did add in some additional stuff. I added in a piece of driftwood, a twisted driftwood vine, and I just felt it made it look more natural. And then we actually have a big ghostwood tree that's actually tucked up underneath it that goes all the way down here, and that way I could create our star polyp moss on top of it. And then we were going to use this as a basking spot, but and it might eventually be once an animal goes in here, but for the time being we just loaded it up. Now this is actually purple waffle plant, and we've noticed that it's a very picky plant. It likes high humidity, but it doesn't. It has to have, I'd say, at least 60 to 70% humidity for it to do okay. Otherwise, it'll crumble and crash. Another issue with it back here, you can notice that a lot of this moss back here is browning out. That's because the light does not cover it. It only covers right here because we're missing the light back here. But the moss that is actually hit by the light is actually doing really, really well. And here's another purple waffle plant too. And you can see it has the purple leaves. That's why it gets its name. And then our plant right here is actually doing really, really well. It is growing in very, very nicely. We do have to trim it back because it does get in the way of the doors, but it's not a huge issue. So still need to fix this little hole up here for we had the green keeled belly lizard in here for a little bit, and he got out. We were able to fight him. He just ended up perching right up here on the top. And you can see up here we do have a basking lamp that is ready for when we get ready to do it. And I think the basking spot will be like right up here. But still undetermined of what to put in here. I've just kind of been letting the tank do its thing and grow in. There's still some modifications with lighting that we need to address, but we'll get to that. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think of how the build came out. The waterfall is doing really, really well. We do have to clean off some of the algae that develops right where the waterfall does come down, but other than that, it's normal tank maintenance stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the entire build of this paludarium, and it's been a really fun and it's been a blast for me to do a build this large. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have, if you guys have any suggestions for new videos or new builds, please leave me comments down below. Please consider hitting that subscribe button to see more content like this. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. But see, under the weather, can't even think straight. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, guys, the big question, your tank or mine?